Hey everyone, it's Froggy, and I'm back again with another episode of the second reproduction. So now we're going to be starting on Lezette's route, for his good ending. So I'm going to skip all of the stuff that we've seen already, because a lot of the storyline is the same for a while. It's going to start getting different, obviously, when her and Lezette get involved, but for now they're not, so I'm just going to be skipping a bunch of stuff. So we're at the point when, Christina says, sorry Lezette, just for today, and then we have the options, could you stay with me, can you leave me alone for today, go by yourself. So usually we say, can you leave me alone for today, but for Lezette we're going to say, could you stay with me. Could you stay with me? Of course I can, but wouldn't staying indoors all day just make you even more depressed? Let's go get some fresh air. Yeah, I suppose. Hey, did you hear about Wind Village? Yeah, sounded pretty bad. Isn't that kinda heartless of them? Assuming it's those champions who did it, of course. Wind Village had become a hot topic in the capital recently. I felt like I was being condemned every time someone brought it up. So I felt gloomy no matter where I went.
姫様、お顔の色が優れないようですが、大丈夫ですか？
心配ない。少し疲れているだけだ。
Lezette probably knew the real reason. It only took him one look at my expression to make him start watching me, his eyes betraying his concern. Lezette's had it tough too. I wasn't the only one feeling regret over the village. Lezette came with me to rescue the villagers, so he probably feels just as bad. We couldn't save anyone. No, Lezette played with the village children and made friends with them, so he probably feels even worse than I do. And yet, he was still worrying about me.
すまない。
え？
子供たちと親しかったお前の方が私よりも数倍やりきれないだろうに。
確かにやりきれなさはあります。子供たちを殺した自称勇者たちを殺してやりたいとも思う。
My eyes flew open in shock. Lezette was the kindest person I'd ever met. I would never have expected him to say something like that. My chest tightened as I slowly began to realize just how deep his grief ran. What were we gonna do now? Who was our real enemy? Where should we draw the line between good and evil? I was completely lost. I couldn't believe anything anymore. Even the ground and the people around us felt like mere illusions.
レセト、私は。
But just as I opened my mouth, I saw a woman heading towards us. Her appearance stood out from the crowd, and she stumbled as she walked. Slowly, she came to a stop a few feet away from us. With her head low, she reached into her clothes and pulled something out. A metal object that glinted in the sunlight, with a blood-red radiance surrounding it. It was... Give me back, my child! Up close, it was obvious who it was. She was a woman I'd met when Gardas took us to the Wind Village. Maybe she'd seen me on the day the village was destroyed and misunderstood. The woman looked straight at me, her warped expression covered in sorrow and her bloodshot eyes glittering. My instincts screamed at me to run, but I couldn't move. I couldn't tear my eyes away from her. She mumbled her words as if chanting a curse, letting her voice get louder and louder until she was screaming. Give him back! 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 The woman raised the dagger and dashed forwards. I should have reacted. I should have run away. But I wasn't even looking at the dagger. All I could see was the tears pouring out of her eyes. So I made someone cry like this as well. The blade was right in front of my eyes. Even though her movements seemed slow to me, I wouldn't move. I just stood there and thought to myself, so this is my punishment, huh?
危ない！
The clanging sound of a blade falling to the floor made me snap back to reality. Are you alright, Lady Christina? A guard had rushed over towards us. He must have heard Lezette's cry and the woman's screams from earlier. To them, I was an important guest of the Demon Lord. If someone tried to harm me, even if that someone was a demon, then the guards were obligated to rush in and intervene. They were obeying Gardus' orders from the other day. How dare you try to harm His Majesty's guest! You'll be punished for this! The guard grabbed the woman's arm and yanked her up from the ground. But the woman barely seemed to notice. She was still murmuring to herself, her empty eyes gazing up at the sky above.
よい、愛しい子を奪われれば、正気を失うのは当然だ。責められはしない。
But...
手厚く保護し、落ち着ける場所を与えてやってほしい。ここで裁くのは、皆の心にさらなる影を落とすことになろう。
Yes, my lady, I understand. I watched them walk away, the guards supporting the woman as they went.
なぜお許しになられたのですか？彼女は勇者であるというだけで姫様を狙ってきたんですよ。
理由ならば先ほども言った。
だから避けるのもためらったというんですか？
レセト？
I looked back at him, surprised by his sudden anger. He was biting his lower lip with a furious expression on his face, his gaze fixed on the stone pavement.
ウィントで姫様は彼らを救おうと懸命に手を尽くされました。それなのになぜ姫様が恨まれなければいけないんですか？どうして姫様は怒らないんですか？
ありがとう、レセト。だが、お前が悔しく思う必要はない。すべては、私が今まで歩んできた道のりの、生産を受けているに過ぎないのだから。ああして血族を殺された者に撃たれても、文句は言えまい。だからレセト、私にもしものレセト？
He hugged me from behind, interrupting my sentence. His rough, pained breath brushed against my ear, making my heartbeat pound in my chest.
俺、優しい姫様が好きです。でもそれで姫様が傷つくのなら優しさを捨てたって構わない。もしも姫様が誰かに殺されたら俺は世界すべてを恨みます。もし苦しいのなら俺が姫様の罪をすべて背負います。すべて背負って魂の煉獄に落ちてもいい。
レセト。
My whole body was wrapped in his arms, filling my wayward heart with kindness. I could feel Lezette's broad chest through my back, making me feel like he really could shoulder everything for me.
やはり大きくなったな。
え？
あ、いや。
I should have known that already, so why was I so surprised? My heart wouldn't stop beating from the realization. I felt really, really happy, yet there was a painful, suffocating sensation gripping my heart from somewhere.
レセト。
はい。
いつまでそうしているつもりなのだ。先ほどから通行人がこちらを見ている。
すいません。つい。
Blushing Lezette is the cutest! It was the first time I'd ever felt this way. I had no idea what to do, so I just gave a blunt reply and turned away from him. We separated, and after a few moments, I muttered something to him.
ありがとう。もう大丈夫だ。
Lezette gave a small laugh in reply and whispered.
どういたしまして。
I couldn't let his warm voice become tainted with sorrow. I can't let that happen. That thought ran through my mind as I gazed up at the setting sun. And I'm gonna go ahead and end this episode here for today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want to see more videos like this one, then don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.